Good day, everybody! This is BA Radiant Dawn, and I'm back with the next part of my top 10 units not yet in Fae. This time we're looking at Fates, which is interesting. I've only played through, like, Revelations once. I know. I played Revelations, I'm so bad. I just like the fact that you can, like, that you get all the most of the characters, like a majority of them. So, sorry, that's just my kind of thing. That's part of the reason why I like Awakenings, because like you can create kid units, and it's a fun process. And I wanted access to as many of the kid units as possible, so that's why I like Revelations, and that's pretty much about it. So I got another new guest joining me for this video today. Today I have Swiftsea joining me.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here. I've played all of the routes of Fates. See, Fates gets a bad rap because people are like, "Oh, it's got a bad story, or the character's really shallow." But I like Fates. I found it fun. I think Fates has become that game where you're kind of a hipster if you like it. So it's actually secretly really cool to like Fates. So that's what I tell myself. I'm a Fire Emblem hipster because I like Fates.
That's amazing. Okay, so let's dig into the first character here. First up we have Kirigi. So if I remember correctly, obviously he comes in as an archer. He is Takumi's son.
Yep, that's right. I mean, he looks just like Takumi. That's kind of his character, really, is that he just really wants to be like his dad. So I think if he was to appear in Fae, he would kind of just be like a modern Takumi.
Which would be really good, actually.
Which would be pretty scary considering how good Takumi was when the game released, maybe not so much now.
Yeah, he's kind of fallen off a little bit. Like, I'm not even sure if he could do anything to Fallen Edelgard anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a bit of an unfortunate matchup.
Just a bit. But let's face facts here. Fallen Edelgard against almost anyone's a bad matchup, so...
Yeah, that unit was, interesting. I'll leave it at that. That unit was a decision they decided to make.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking, like, what did his personal skill do? Do you remember?
So Kirigi's personal skill was Optimist, where if he ended his turn without attacking or doing anything, he would get a buff to his speed by 4, and his luck would also get a buff by 8. So luck's obviously not a stat we have in Fae. So instead of luck, maybe it could be, I don't know, maybe just like attack or something. So if he ends his turn without attacking, he could get a visible buff to his stats. Would probably be the closest thing we would get in Fae to what he had in Fates.
Yeah, like one thing that I noticed is like when they do, I gotta think about this correctly. For Duo Kid Erika, they put like dodge into the duo skill, and like dodge was a thing, like because the dodge is calculated based off of speed and luck. So I wonder if maybe, but they decided to do that as damage reduction. So maybe what they could do for him is like if he waits and doesn't attack or something, he can get like +4 speed and like 10 or 20% damage reduction or something.
That would be interesting. It could be kind of like an inverse version of what something like Winter Burnie has, where their first attack they take, I think it's 30% less damage.
Yeah.
So this time it would just be on the enemy phase.
One thing that I find interesting about Kirigi is the fact that like I actually like him. It's just his dad is he's kind of mean. Like their supports is like, yeah, well, I don't like my son because he's better at my gimmick than I am. It's like, but dude, you should be proud that your son surpassed you in something. That's like a pride point of any parent, pretty much. It's like, oh, my kid can do this better than me. Go, kid. And instead, Takumi's just like, I hate my freaking kid.
Yeah, I mean, Takumi's whole thing is that he wants to be like the best
archer, and then he's surpassed by
his skill is like rivalry or something.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's just kind of sad, in my opinion. Next up, we have Reyna. And if I remember correctly, she's what was that class? Like a Kinshi Knight? Or something?
I think that's right, yeah. A Kinshi Knight or a Kinshi Flyer, something like that. Basically a bow flyer, but they also had access to lances.
Yeah. which is actually a really interesting, unique class because, like, a flying lance bow unit, it's never really been done up until, like, this point, anyway.
Yeah, I feel like she was the first in Fire Emblem to have that combination of aspects about her. I believe that's true. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's actually correct, but I feel like I read that somewhere where Reyna was the very first to have that sort of specific grouping of skills.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure that didn't exist in Shadow Dragon or the originals. It didn't exist for the GBA games or not for Tellius, not for... Yeah, no, it's just her. And then Three Houses kind of like, hey, everyone can use everything.
Yeah, well, that's true. So Reyna has that going for her, being the very first of her kind.
Yeah.
But she's really late to Fae, so she won't be as special when she gets to Fae, seeing as Hinoka, also from Fates, kind of already did it before her.
Yeah, that's kind of mean. Especially since Hinoka doesn't even use bows. Like, why did they do that?
I don't know, maybe they just thought, you know what, no one's going to pull for Reyna, so we'll just make Hinoka again.
Possibly. What was Reyna's personal skill?
So Reyna had Morbid Celebration, where if Reyna initiates a battle and she wins, or basically if she KOs the foe, she will recover 20% of her HP.
Okay. So, like, they could put that into her, like, if they wanted to make her 5-star, which I think, for Kirigi, I think he'd be 5-star, Reyna maybe 4-star, but if they wanted to make her 5-star, they could do, like, kind of like with Claude, with a self-healing after the special procs or something.
Yeah, she could just get it after combat. I don't think she necessarily needs to have the bit where she wins the fight, where she could just win. Yeah. She should just heal afterwards. Yeah, I don't think we have a 4-star flyer, bow flyer.
4-star bow flyer?
I don't think we have one, if I recall correctly. No one springs to mind. Again, I might be wrong. I'll probably be wrong on like 90% of the stuff I say, but I feel like there isn't one.
I don't think
unless
so,
unless there's like a Grail one. But I don't think there's one in the regular pool.
They're majority just infantry colorless, and then there's the Cav greens, and that's about it. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think there is one.
Yeah, like how? Yeah, they would have to, or maybe what they could do is kind of like do like if they want to make her 5-star again, kind of do like a baby version of Mystic Boost, kind of like what Edelgard got, but like a little bit less healing. So, like, after combat, it's, like, restore, like, 4 HP or something, or 5.
Yeah, there'll definitely be, like, more effects baked into a weapon than just healing as well. So, it'll be interesting to see what they would come up with for that.
With the current levels of power creep that we're getting, she'll have, like, 5 paragraphs of stuff. She'll have, like, Canto built in or something, and then she'll have, like, effectiveness in her weapon or something, probably acceleration special trigger considering everyone and their dog has that now, and then she'll have the healing, and she might come with Deadeye.
I look forward to Reyna. I really like Reyna in Birthright. She was probably one of my more favourite characters, just because I found her really creepy, and I really like the creepy characters.
Yeah, that's fair.
She has this line when you face her in... when you first face her in Conquest, she says something along the lines of, "Oh, I can't wait to watch the light fade from your eyes," or something really weird like that. It's like, all right, Christ, simmer down. So
I mean,
yeah,
even her skills named a little weird, but that's why I was like, well, damn.
Yeah, she really liked the whole murder aspect of her job. So that's
harmonized unit. Her and Henry.
A bit weird. Yeah, kind of, just a bit more serious than Henry.
Yeah, but like. Her and Henry as a harmonized would be amazing.
Oh yeah, that was. I would pull for that. I would love that. And
probably what they would be is like a flying, because like if I tend to notice that I don't think it's the case anymore. But what they used to do for like at least for the duos is that they used to take the helper's weapon type and then the lead's movement type. Like if you look at duo Sigurd, Deirdre's a tome. And Sigurd's a red sword cav, so they made a red tome cav. So like, if they wanted to keep that going, I could see her being like a Maybe maybe she'd probably be in the lead. Females usually get the lead, I think. So I would probably more than likely say she'd be the lead. So it'd be like a red flying tome.
I can see that. That would be fun.
That'd be pretty cool. And their conversations would be hilarious. I could just see her like rolling her eyes at Henry's puns.
They would have some interesting things to say about killing people. I think.
Oh
that
yeah,
would be their favorite topic.
Probably the funniest thing ever. Oh. So next up we have Shura, and I'm not even sure if I remember this correctly, but I think Archer?
Oh, with the boots man! Oh, Shura. I never used Shura because I always killed them off.
And I never used Shura because I just couldn't find myself to, because by the time you get him, you have access to the kid units, and they just eclipse everything, so there's no point.
Shura starts off as a adventurer, so he gets access to bows and staffs.
I was like, I'm pretty sure he uses bows. I don't remember the adventurer class. So he's a archer healer?
Yeah, adventurer was this. I don't remember if it was in any other game, but it was this weird class where you got access to staffs and bows at the same time, which was quite unique.
Yeah, that's Fates really had some interesting weapon combinations.
Yeah, it was fun. That's another aspect of Fates I quite liked. It's just the weird sort of classes you go into.
Oh yeah. So, if they wanted to make him a 5-star, or even like a 4-star, like, I feel like he'd be, either way, he'd be a 4-star, whether he's a healer or an archer, he'd be a demote. But like, I'd love to see like a blue well actually, I'd love to see a red demote bow, because we don't have that yet. All the red bows we have in Fae are all 5-star locked, and like, most, like, half or a little over half are seasonal, which is just terrible.
Yeah, I believe red's the only bow color we have which isn't demoted in any form just yet.
Yeah, that's all there is. There's like, what I find is like, in terms of beasts, tomes, anything that's not Swordlance Axe bows, or Swordlance Axe, they're holding on to keeping one color 5-star locked, for the most part.
Yeah.
Which is super freaking annoying. Like, colorless dragon or red bow. I can't remember about beasts. I want to say red beasts are also not demoted.
I think you're correct, yeah. I think red is the missing color from there.
And colorless tomes, there is a 4-star and it's Zane, but he's seasonal locked, so that doesn't really count. And he's technically a 5-star, so...
Yeah, Zane kind of is in his own little category with how his tome works.
Yeah, I love him. The second he came out, I'm like, yo, this is amazing. And then Ponzaloki became a thing. I'm like, he's a god. He is a god.
Yeah, I don't have a Zane. I wish I did.
He's so handy. I love him. But yeah, I want Shura. Time to get back a little bit more back on track here. I would love Shura as like a demoted red bow. That's all I ask for, is if you're gonna he's gonna be a demote, give him a red bow. Make him a red bow demote, please. Like, it'd be nice. Make our Ponzaloki lives a little bit easier, because there's no free-to-play red bows, so please, just give us one.
That's a really great idea. I'd love to see that as well. Shura had Highwayman as his personal skill, where if he initiated the combat, the foe couldn't counterattack, and he also reduced their strength and speed afterwards, kind of like a dagger. That's actually one of the probably easier ones to translate over to Fae.
So he, like, it wasn't like a smoke per se, but it was more like a lull?
Well, it was like a visible debuff, right? But it was only by 3. And it came back by 1 point after that turn, but that doesn't really happen in Fae. It just goes back immediately. It would probably be by more than 3. It would just be basically speed and attack smoke, I imagine.
Ooh, dual smoke. That'd be pretty cool.
I would also love it if they had some sort of reference to him having 1 extra movement, because the reason why I call him the Boots Man, you probably wouldn't know if you haven't played. I believe it only happens in Conquest, I'm not sure. But when you face Shura's level, you have the choice of either recruiting him or executing him. And if you execute him, you get boots, which if you give to one of your characters, you get 1 extra movement. So from a competitive standpoint, it was always way better to kill him off, because boots was like the best item in the game. So so most people that were trying to like speedrun the game or just play the game like as optimally as possible always killed him off.
That's so sad. I understand.
It's real sad, yeah, but you got the best item.
And his boots look pretty good. I'm pretty sure units like wearing them.
Oh yeah. So I'd love it if you had some sort of reference to having like 1 more movement or something like that.
Yeah, kind of like an even or odd Tempest kind of idea, if they want to make a 5-star.
Yeah, true.
So next up we have Mitama. So the reason why I kind of sounded sad about that is because of I just always found her a bit of a weird character. Isn't she like super lazy? Like, yeah,
she's very sort of whimsical, I guess is the right word. I don't know. She didn't really commit herself to battle that much and just kind of focused on like art and poems. Yeah,
like she's interesting. One thing that always bothered me were her eyes. I don't know why, like, her pupils are star-shaped. I don't understand that. Like, not star-shaped, they're like little diamonds, and I'm like, that's so weird.
I always thought she was kind of, you know, on something, some kind of...
yeah, maybe,
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. Was Midori... Midori was in this game, yeah?
Yes, yeah. Dory is Kaze's.
Yeah, I thought so. Well, we know she's a chemist, so,
yeah, maybe they've been hanging out too much.
Yeah, maybe. If I remember correctly, she was a healer, like her dad.
Yeah, she got the same class as her dad, just as a female, really.
Yeah.
I think she actually inherits her sort of weird eye pupil shape from her dad, but Azama always had his eyes shut, so
yeah,
you never actually got to see them.
Yeah, I don't think we ever actually got to see Azama's eyes. He's got like Brock syndrome, where we never actually see the guy's eyes.
Yeah, I know. I kind of like that about him. He kind of made him look a bit unique.
I like how they have characters like that once in a while, because there was Oscar, there was Azama, and there were some others I just can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, probably demote healer, because they like to make almost all female healers demotes.
I wonder if she would inherit her dad's like just awful attack stat. That would be kind of funny. I mean, it would be kind of appropriate, I guess, seeing as she doesn't like to battle.
Oh yeah, she does whatever she can to not actually battle. Because I think I remember during one conversation with her, like in a support conversation with her dad, he's like, yeah, you need to go to the battlefield and like start healing people, because like we're having a problem out there. And she's just like, but poems. I'd rather just like sit here and write poems. And he's just like, but you're a healer. Get out there.
I mean, that's understandable. I'd rather write poems than go to war.
Oh yeah, yeah, I get that. It's just she's a weird character. Yeah. Like I said, I'm willing to bet Demo healer. It'd be really interesting if they made her a 5-star though. I don't know what she would. What was her personal skill?
So Mitama had Haiku. It's where kind of awkward to explain. Where if she's standing in between 2 other units, she would heal 5 HP, and no, she would heal 7 HP. Sorry, and the other 2 units would heal 5 HP. Because that's like the formation of a haiku. I don't really know.
Yeah,
I don't write poetry,
it's
so
like
I don't know
5,
the
7,
correct
5
terms.
is the haiku. So, yeah, I have no idea what they would do. It would be easier just to make her a demote, honestly.
That would be a really terrible skill to have in Fae, just because of how awkward it'd be to use, but it would be appropriate.
It wouldn't be bad for like Rival Bro main / co-op conquest, just to have like a passive healing for like adjacent allies, and then she gets 7. Like, that wouldn't be half bad, but it would still be awkward to pull off.
Yeah, I feel like they would probably have more than just the 575. They'd probably have something like the odd recovery where it gets rid of penalties as well, if she was to be 5-star locked.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not really much to say. Like, I think the last actually 5-star locked healer we got was like Flame. In the main
it depends
pool.
If you want to count seasonals.
Yeah, in the main summoning pool, not counting seasonals.
Oh, in the main summoning pool, I think you're right. I think it might have been. It was either Flame or yeah, I think it is Flame. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't come around too often. Like, I remember Natasha demote, Lena demote. There's a bunch. It's terrible. Almost every time there's a healer, it's like there's a demote.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like healers are definitely the least popular sort of archetype for players.
Yeah. I mean, they could be good support bots for sure. Like, Flame was done amazingly. Like, oh, I love Flame. She's so good.
I don't have a Flame. I wish I did, though.
She makes my
avoids
near and far save wombo combo literally invincible. It's the funniest thing. So next up we have... Oh, I'm excited to talk about this one. So, he's not actually playable in the game, but if I remember correctly, he can be an enemy.
Well, there he is, Summoner.
It is a Nunkos. So, I'm actually going to be covering this in a separate video. I'm just going to, like, do a mini spurt here about him. More than like, he'd be the only, like, mythic we could possibly get from this game at this point. Like,
I believe so, yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure he's going to be a mythic, and I want to say he'd be a blue dragon. I don't, as much as I want him to be, I don't think he'll be a flying blue dragon, but I hope so, because I need more of those. But yeah, I could see him definitely being a mythic blue dragon. Maybe if they wanted to be a little interesting, they can make him a colorless infantry mythic dragon, but I am thinking blue. Maybe it's just because of the hair, but I'm thinking blue.
I feel like colorless infantry dragon is like mythic dragon. Like, we've been there, done that. You know, we got quite a few examples. So we've got like Seros, we got Miller. You know, we got a Duma as well, although he's armored. Oh, Seros was blue, right? Sorry, yeah. bad example. Scratch that. But
we got.
Still,
I know we got Duma,
a few.
but I can't remember any others for mythics.
I still think it'd be better if he was coloured. I would agree that he should probably be blue, just because, spoiler alert, like, massive spoilers, his daughter's blue as well in the game.
Yeah.
So I don't see why they wouldn't be matching.
Actually, he could be flying, because his daughter is too. There we go.
There you go, there's your reasoning. What mythic sort of blessing do you think he would come with?
Ooh. Let's see, there's light, dark, Astra, Anima, right?
Yeah.
Well, the first question would he be Ether Raid's offense or defense? I feel like he'd be more defense, personally. I
suppose so. It depends on his kit, like what they decide to give him for his like personal skill and stuff like that. But if I was to guess, I would say defense.
Yeah, like maybe and defense is darker Anima, right?
That's true.
Okay. I feel like Anima might be good for him personally. I don't know why, but I feel like that might work.
Well, we already have Seros and Duma as Anima dragons.
Okay.
I don't recall. We have one on Dark, which is.
Actually, here's a question:
Three Houses dragon.
Who do we have for defense that gives an extra slot? Do we have someone for Dark that does that already? I think that's not.
We have not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point, we have one for each season right now, right?
Sophis was who I was thinking of, by the way. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really. Let him be flying, and I don't care because I'm just gonna use it for Pawns Loki. I don't even care.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, I love Pawns Loki. It's my favorite game mode in Fae, and I cannot explain why. It just is.
I'm not very good at pawns of Loki. I got the gold trophy once, and I was like, alright, got it, I'm good, don't have to carry anymore. And then they introduced the platinum one, right? Yep. So now I have to start carrying again just so I can get that.
Yeah, I hit platinum week before, or not week before last, but like, not last time. Was it last time? I hit platinum once, and then I hit it again with this round, so I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, please let him be flying blue dragon. That's all I ask. I need more. That's the only. We don't have many flying blue dragons in general. We have Harmonized Tiki, we have Naga, we have Lilith. That's it.
There you go. I feel like that would be quite good for him. I don't know what his personal skill would be. He actually had 2 in face. He had Dragon Skin and Status Immunity,
Ooh.
Which is pretty self-explanatory.
Dragon Skin, what did that do?
So this was also in like Awakening. So Robin had it. Grimer, I guess. Where I think you couldn't one-hit KO them, and it reduced damage they took as well by like 50%, something like that.
Okay, so kind of like, so he might come with like Dragon Wall possibly as well then, potentially.
Yeah, he might have something similar to what Legendary Robin has, but like better.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with him. But yeah, definitely a mythic though, 100%. If they'd be dumb not to make him a mythic. They're starting to run out of those, so it needs to happen.
Oh, he would definitely be a mythic. It wouldn't make any sense for him not to be.
So next up we have Mozu, and I initially thought she was someone's daughter, but no, she's the villager, isn't she?
Yeah, she's basically the Donald.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Donald.
So I'm actually willing to think that she'll be a demote too. Like, she'll be a better demote Donald. That's about it. That's what I'm thinking.
So similar to Donald, she also just starts out as a Lance sort of infantry as the villager. Her promotions are different to Donald though, so if they wanted to promote Mozu just so she wasn't the same as Donald, or if they wanted to like 5-star lock her, they would probably give her one of the promotions.
Yeah.
She could become a Master of Arms, which was you could use any weapon from the primary weapon triangle of Lance, Axe, and Sword. Yeah. So she could have any of those and it would be fine. I think most of the time though she just became basically what they did with Kaze's daughter, and just make her an alchemist, and she would be a bow unit.
Yeah, yeah, more than likely I'd say she'll probably be a demote. If they wanted, what was her personal skill?
So Mozu had Forager, where if she was standing on a terrain tile, she would recover 20% of her HP.
Yeah, I don't see. Again, like, maybe a baby Mystic boost or something, but it'd be easier just to make her a demote, so I think that's what they do. Because I feel like for characters that are kind of hard to make as 5 stars, they just take it easier on themselves and just be like, yeah, demote. We don't have to think as hard, so demote.
She would just become Donald 2.0 if they were promote her. So that's like the word reservation I have, but she makes sense to be the demote.
Higher BST, that's about it. Like, maybe if they want it to be special, they could give her like a tier 3 solo skill or something. But that's about as far as I can think for that. So next up we have Scarlet, who is only playable on one of the routes, if I remember correctly? Or she only lives on one of the routes, I can't remember.
She's technically playable on 2, but she does die. Like, she has a scripted death on one of them, so she only survives to the end on one of them.
Okay. I want to say she was a Lance Flyer, but I can't remember.
I believe she actually starts with an axe.
Oh, okay.
By default, she's holding an axe, but I think she has the ability to use lances at the start as well. So she could be an axe or a lance flyer.
Okay. But she was a flyer. I was happy I remembered that.
Yeah, she was a wyvern knight.
Yeah, I thought
default.
so. What was her personal skill?
So let me just look at my handy dandy notes here. Oh god, it was in extremis. I think that's how you pronounce that. So if she was below a quarter of her health, her crit rate would increase by 30.
That just
So
sounds
I feel like-
Wrath, kind of.
I was gonna say, if they were to put that in Fae, it would pretty much just translate into Wrath. Maybe instead of extra damage, they would have it so she would get more special cooldown than just like the one. Maybe it would go down by 2 instead.
Ooh.
Or maybe it would just ready it straight away if she was below, maybe not a quarter, maybe like below half. I think that'd be quite fun to play around with.
So kind of like the typical Ares build, but like like Dark Mistletoe kind of, but you have to be below a certain HP threshold to do it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of some really fun stuff you could do. Like you could give her sort of inbuilt special spiral as well. And instead, just instead of doing the special cooldown in a weapon, just have her do like 10 or even like 20 more damage, and just have some like ridiculous stuff going on. If you meet this HP threshold,
That'd be pretty cool. I like that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Possibility she could also come with like I want to say that her speed and defense were pretty solid, if I remember correctly.
she had pretty high attack, speed, and defense. Yeah, he got it pretty much on the nail on the head. So she could be a really good unit for
Wyvern Flight.
Wyvern Flight, another character to come with that.
Actually, I think only one character comes with that right now, so it'd be good if she came with it.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to keep it just to one character, because I believe Pegasus Flight is only on one character as well. So they might want to keep that balanced.
Pegasus Flight's less usable.
Yeah,
like
but Pegasus Flight came a good amount before. So they probably realised that Pegasus Flight wasn't that great, so when they came to Wyvern Flight, they made it a bit better.
Oh yeah, Wyvern Flight's like 10 times better because it's just usable on more units. Lots of units can use Wyvern Flight. Not many can use Pegasus Flight. It's a shame.
Yeah, I don't have a Pegasus Flight, sadly. I never got a Shura, right? Yeah, I never got one, so I've never been able to try it out.
I managed to get one,
a lot.
and I gave it to my Jill, and she's just an absolute monster.
Oh, right.
She's so good. So next up we have Orochi. If I remember correctly, Orochi was her class was really weird because it was technically tomes, but not really. It was like scrolls.
I think the word for it was Diviner. I think
Yeah.
that was what the name of her class was. So if you were a mage, basically on the Birthright route, you didn't get access to tomes. You got access to scrolls instead, which were basically just a different word for tomes. They just had different like animations.
Yeah, like if I remember correctly, that's kind of what the Blar Rabbit and stuff is based off of, and Blar Fox is those scrolls technically. I feel.
Yeah,
like
yeah. I guess they were like that, where an animal would come out. It was quite cool.
Yeah, because I remember there was like a rabbit animation, and there was a snake one. The horse one was godly. This horse one was pretty good if I remember correctly. For
oh right, yeah.
scrolls. Yeah, like, yeah, she'd probably be maybe like a. See, I'm kind of torn because like, art-wise, I want to say she'd be a 5-star because like they need a hottie to lead the banner, but weapon-wise, I want to say she's a D mode because she automatically uses pretty much the Blar Fox, Blar Rabbit, and all that. Like,
yeah, I mean, they could screw her over and just be like, okay, you get Blar Fox, but you're still 5-star locked, you know? Like, what's his name? Hubert, for example, or Ewan. They're 5-star locked, but they have just regular tones.
That's true. They'd have to put good skills on her though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the advantage she kind of has is that, you know, being a pretty lady, people might summon for her anyway. So they would have the excuse of, okay, well, we don't have to try as hard for a weapon.
I mean, she's in the top 3, so it's gotta mean something.
Yeah, I feel like they would give her just her own personal scroll, and the animation would just be, you know, some kind of animal.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If they were to make her 5-star. What was her personal skill?
Oh, so Orochi had capture. This is not a mechanic you would be able to use in Fae. If it was, it would be hilarious. But yeah, I think it was, instead of selecting attack, you could select an option called capture, where if you lowered their health to what would be a knockout, you instead put them in a prison, which when you went back to your castle, you could talk to them and convince them to join your team. So Orochi had it for Birthright, and Niles had it for Conquest. No idea how that would work in Fae. You'd have to completely scrap it off. But that's what she had.
Yeah, I have no idea what... That's why I'm thinking it'd be easier to make her demote, but yeah, I'm curious to see what they do. I mean, one thing that I found funny is, on one of my previous videos, they made the top 2 units most wanted in the game both demotes.
Alright, who was that, sorry?
Shadows of Valentia, Luthier, Tatiana.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they made both of them demotes.
To be fair, they're both pretty good. Like, they're fine units. Just because they're demotes doesn't really mean they got, screwed over or anything.
Oh no, but I'm just kind of using that as a reference for, like, just because you're in the top 3 doesn't mean you're guaranteed to be a 5-star at all. Like...
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, let's take a look-see here. Next up, we got Dwyer, and that was Jacob's son, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right.
And he came in as kind of like a troubadour, a mounted healer, if I remember correctly as well.
Yeah, he was a cav healer. He could also be a dagger unit because he can promote into a butler.
Yeah.
But by default, he's a cav healer.
I'd say between him and Orochi, he's more likely to be the demote, just because a healer.
Yeah, the one reservation I would have about that is the last Fate's Banner, the demote was a cav healer being Forest. So I don't know if they'd want to do that like twice in a row.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's been a while since we got a Fate's Banner, right? That's why I think it was KCB was saying that maybe we'll get a Fate's Banner for the upcoming new heroes that's coming out on, what, the 18th, I think?
I think that's the most popular pick, being Fates, yeah, because I do believe the last one was the Forest Banner. I don't think we've had one since then,
yeah,
if you don't count seasons.
A year plus ago, I think.
Yeah, I remember that banner, because that was roughly around the time I started my channel, actually.
Nice. Yeah, one thing that I like about Dwyer is he kind of reminds me of, like, he gives me the same vibe as, like, L from Death Note. I don't know why. I think just, like, the face, he looks, like, super tired, lack of sleep, and...
that kind of is what Dwyer is, I suppose.
But even, like, just his artwork, he looks kind of like L, just different colored hair. Really, that's about it. Yeah, he's an interesting character. What did he have for a personal skill?
Dwyer had a really kind of unique personal skill. It was called Born Steward. So in Fates, there was a different kind of game mode called Castle Battles.
Oh,
where
yeah.
you built up your castle and then you defended it from like waves of oncoming enemies. I guess it's kind of like Ether Raids in a way, where you build up your own little fort and then you defend it. So if he was in...
Oh, yep. Did we lose ya?
Just be like, okay, there's your Born Steward, just sort of built into your ARD skill.
Okay, I don't quite know what happened, but you cut out for a little bit there.
Oh, did I? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The internet must have gone.
So, what were you saying?
Oh, wait, do you want me to just start from what his skill was?
Yeah, I know you said that it could be potentially used for Ether Raid's defense.
Oh right, okay, I'll go from sort of how it'd be put into Fae again then.
Yeah.
So how they could possibly put it into Fae, so it would be for Ether Raids. I imagine that's probably the closest thing they have to the castle battles. But instead of putting that into his weapon, because they've never done that, they've never put like an Ether Raid sort of specific thing into a weapon. They would just have Ether Raid's defense skill, like an ARD, I don't know, defense res or something, and just have that be representative of his Born Steward skill.
That would be pretty good, yeah. Actually, that would work out really well. Or he can like even come with like what did that skill do exactly again? Like it gave bonuses to the defending units, or
the Ether Raid's defense skill. It gave a bonus to defense and res equal to the amount of structures you still had standing.
Okay.
So if they hadn't broken any structures, you'd got more defense from res, I think.
Okay, so he could be like a kind of tanky healer of sorts.
I suppose so, yeah. Oh, you could do the attack speed one. I think that one's quite limited though, so it'd have to be like 5-star locked for that one.
Mm. Yeah, it's an idea. It's interesting.
That's probably the best way of reflecting his personal skill. Otherwise, they would probably just spin it off and do something completely different.
Oh yeah. So for the number 1, I didn't expect her to be number 1. I'm actually kind of surprised. I didn't think she was that popular. But we got Nyx, the super old lady who is not aging.
Yeah, the classic archetype of I look 12, but I'm seriously like 1,000. You gotta believe
Yeah, but
me.
she's not even a dragon. That's the weird thing.
Yeah, but they had the easy excuse of, oh, I've got some sort of curse on me, you know?
Yeah. Which is
I mean, she's a mage, so I
when,
guess
like,
that would
the
make
unit's
sense.
like 1,000+ years old or whatever. Like when the unit's super old, but they look super young, it's because they're a dragon. But no, she's just cursed or like really good with magic or something. I can't remember, but it's super weird. I always paired her up with Xander. I have no idea why.
Oh, right. It was a curse. I think the story was she did some like really terrible things when she was younger.
Mm-hmm.
So as punishment for that, somebody put a curse on her, be like, you can't grow up now, lol.
That's terrible. I remember her being a tome unit. She'll probably be a red tome if I want to take a shot in the dark, because I think she used... I can't remember if she used dark magic per se, but I think so.
She used dark magic.
Yeah, so red.
Probably red tome infantry. She's kind of a bit like Tharja in a way, but I guess she would be a 5-star locked version of Tharja.
Yeah. What was her skill?
She had a counter curse where if she took damage from a magic dealing attack, the one dealing the attack would take 50% of the damage back.
Huh. Sounds like a magic version of the counter skill in Telios.
Well, yeah, I mean that skill's been in a few different games. I think it was in Awakening as well, but this was just for magic attacks.
Huh. I don't know how they do that for Fae. That's interesting.
I mean, they could just do the exact same thing, where if she takes damage from a magical foe, then she reflects half of it back. I imagine that'd be like super annoying to have to play against, but
yeah, that'd be.
they could do that.
That'd be a thing. Yeah, like there's a few things that they could do with her. That's for sure. I'm yeah, like you said, I'm thinking like more like a 5-star locked red tome.
Yeah, she would most definitely get her own sort of PRF tome, I imagine. What they would do with it, I'm not kind of sure. She would probably have high attack and speed, just because that's what she had in Fates, with like very little defense. Her res was average, I think. It wasn't good, but it wasn't particularly bad either. But her defense was her worst stat. I think her HP was quite low as well.
So she'd be mainly just offense oriented, more than likely.
Yeah, pretty much just a glass cannon.
Okay. Just.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so you were saying she'd be like kind of like a red Ophelia, right?
Well, I mean, it's just an idea. I don't know if she would have the exact same mechanics, but she would probably have a similar stat line at least.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be interesting. Yeah, what was her personal skill again? Oh, the counter curse.
Counter curse, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting, because that, like, she'd be like a red tome Guinevere killer if it works the same way in Fae. Because, like, Guinevere's known for, like, nuking any mage, and she's like, no, you try to take me on, I will destroy you.
I suppose I think you had to live though is the thing. I think if you were straight up KO'd from the damage, it didn't reflect back. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I feel like that was how it was.
I feel like that'd be the case. Otherwise, I'd be. Well, I'm not sure if you necessarily call that broken. It would be broken in Fae, but it wouldn't be broken in Fates because like you're losing a unit permanently to deal like half the damage back.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if like a Guinevere if that did work like that. A Guinevere did like 100 damage, just got obliterated in return. That'd be hilarious.
it would make people a little more weary about using mage nukes in general. That'd be entertaining. It would add an extra layer of like strategy, but it wouldn't be necessarily the best idea.
Yeah, it should be a good unit to like just suicide into the enemy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just sacrifice it and take somebody out with you.
Yeah, I mean, I already use Freya for that in Ether Raids. Like, if I need to draw enemies to me, I just like throw Freya in the front, and I'm like, okay, once she dies, they're a little bit closer. Then I'm like, Linja, go, destroy 1, destroy 2, destroy 3, destroy 4, Gale Force, destroy, done.
Nice. I don't have a Freya, but I try not to sacrifice units, but you know, sometimes you gotta do it for the greater good.
Well, that's what's nice about the extra slot is you can sacrifice a unit, you don't actually have to care, because you don't lose anything sacrificing that one unit, so...
Yeah.
It's nice having a pawn to use once in a while.
That's one way to look at it, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's about it. We covered the top 10. Yeah, I feel like Nyx would probably be a 5-star. It'd be weird if they made her a demote, but because we already have other demote choices on this banner, so...
Yeah, I mean, she would be an interesting demo. I fear she'd be too similar to Tharja then, but
yeah,
just like a more modern version. But yeah, I feel like she'd be a 5-star exclusive.
Oh yeah, same here. Yeah, that's it for now. I definitely thank you for joining me.
It's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed it. I really like just sort of theory crafting potential units, so this was a blast.
Oh yeah, that's why I love this mini-series, just because it's fun to just think about what units could come with, how they can incorporate skills and traits and personalities even into the game. Like, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, what all are you working on in your channel currently?
Well, I just kind of got back from, I guess, holiday, so
nice.
There's been a bit of a lull in stuff, but I've just started working on theory crafting dancer refines. So if you like Olivia or Azura or like Minion, like the early dancers, then I'm theory crafting refined for them. So maybe check it out.
That sounds pretty fun. I like that. Yeah, definitely check out Swiftsea's channel. It'll be down in the description below there. And you know, I wouldn't mind if you like this video, subscribe to both of us. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. But until next time, this is B Reyna signing off. Bye.